Canelo-Kovalev Fight League rolls on with the legend, the professor, the alien, the executioner, Bernard Hopkins in the house.
Yes, good to see you, man. Fight weekend. You know, we got to stop meeting like this. I mean, we got to meet somewhere. But you know what? No, we don't. We don't need to stop meeting like this because this is a great time to meet. It's a great time for not only the boxing fans, but for history. And I know we're going to talk about it, and to be part of in and out of the ring. I'm happy, man.
All right, before we get into the stuff, the meat, the Canelo-Kovalev breakdown, there's a lot of soap opera crap. And you know boxing fans on Twitter, they love the juice. They love the gossip. It's Oscar versus Canelo, and there's no loyalty, and there's all this stuff. You're on the inside. What the hell's going on, Bernard?
Gossip. 99 points in the gossip.
Can you put the fire out? Can you get them together in the same room here?
I am putting the fire out.
Okay.
The fire's... I'm the executioner.
You are. You're damn right. All right? You took that Puerto Rican flag. You said, take this, Trinidad. Take this, man.
We getting this thing right.
Okay.
You know why? That left hook always can find anybody's rib cages.
That's true.
And let me tell you something. But the left hook from the rib cages is the left hook from my experience and the left hook of letting two really strong-minded people understand like anything in a relationship. Anybody that's been in any relationship of any kind know that every day is not going to be a day where everybody agree with everything that's been said. And sometimes you don't need opinions from the world, whether it's social media, whether it's inside, whether it's outside.
Twitter, whether it's Mike Coppinger, back off.
My thing is do this. I'm going to get both guys in the room, and I'm going to leave.
Okay.
Y'all deal with it. See, because when
There's so much money to be made. Make it happen.
It ain't about the money right now. This is about relationships. See, because if you don't have good working relationships, then nothing else matters. When you put things, especially money, on top of relationships, then both people is going to have a relationship where it ain't based on how you respect me, how I respect you. It's going to be based on the rule of all evil if you take it in a mentality where we basing everything on what we can get instead of what we can do. Because that's one fighter. Future Hall of Famer, I believe, and going to be a fixture in his community of where he's at in his life. That is Canelo. And others going to be a pillar to their community and their influence over people, period. So.
Nobody wins when the family fights, though.
So, that's the point. When you get that moment to be able to express, not through media, not through this, not through that door, but you get to sit there and say, man, so what's the problem?
Mm-hmm.
You know how many times I've been wrong and I had to get in the room once they eventually got me in there and it wasn't easy? You get to hearing things that you thought that, no, that was the nigga said, oh, well, not putting it off on anybody else. Well, I assume, wait a minute, and let's deal with the assumption, and then I'll be like, man, you know what, that's my bad. Now we got that, come on, man. We all know this. If you got some time under your age belt, you know that, you know what, this ain't no sugarcoating and promoting it. Like, I understand that's like real life talk there. That's like real life talk there.
Yeah.
You get two guys in the room, I guarantee you, everything they reacted off of in the middle of what they heard or what was brought to them, normally is not the case. But you got to get them in the room. And you get them in the room, and you leave that room, let them work it out.
Lock the door, too. No one's coming out of here until we remember that in the great Golden Boy purge of 2014 or 15, you and Canelo remain loyal. You said, hey, Shafe, that way. We're staying here, brother.
Exactly. And that got to be taken into some serious conversation and thought. And when you want, like, I'll tell you what, if I feel that way that Canelo felt, I'll be gone. Strong, right?
That's strong. You don't pull punches.
I don't have a filter on my experience and not feelings, because feelings is emotion. So I don't operate off emotions. I don't operate off
So you're
feelings.
saying you understand what Canelo's going through, but at the same,
If,
t-
if
at the
that's
same time,
listen, if that's the case, and there's nothing that got lost, or
Right.
something that didn't get addressed the correct way, and they get in that room and that conversation need to happen, then maybe they can find out something, right, that they both didn't know or they did know. But you got to get them in the room. And then when you get them in the room, I'm willing to guarantee from my 55, 54-year experience that I guarantee you if they get in that room and cut all that middle out and cut all that outside out, and they get in the room and say, come on, man, then I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to hear you out. You know that's powerful.
yeah, damn right. Wow, getting the feels right now.
If we can get the Democrats and the Republicans
Yes.
get in the damn
If we
room.
could get you and Trump in the same, no, just kidding. We can't go down that road. Okay.
I would love to get in the room with him and say, Trump, you're fired.
All right, Bernard, the talk of this week, outside of that crap soap opera stuff, is obviously the bolas, the huevos on Canelo. 2 weight classes up against historically one of the better punchers, a guy you faced. But let's not forget 2006 when you moved up 2 weight classes to fight the light heavyweight champion Antonio Tarver. People act like, I mean, I'm giving all the respect to Canelo, but this is a man who's done it, who's
Right.
walked that.
And they understand that, and Canelo camp understands the significance of that. And I think that's one of the reasons, more than 20% of the reasons, he wants to be in that house that's so limited of people that accomplish that, and that is Canelo. But also, you know, Buddy McGirt is making history too.
Definitely.
This is second time with the light heavyweight that's going to get beat by a middleweight.
He was
trained
with
Tarver.
Tarver when you moved up
And
in
you didn't.
06.
You forgot that.
I forgot that.
So-
Because you know what I think about when I remember that fight? I think about Tarver complaining that somebody drugged him.
Exactly.
Do you-
Well, I
does
did.
he still say
I
that?
did drug him.
Oh, with your fist? All right.
Combinations.
Yes, yes.
And
yes.
Mackie Showstone
Um,
and my team.
But you're
but-
dealing with the same thing Canelo did of we don't know what it's going to look like if he can take a light heavyweight punch until that bell rings. And that's the drama of making people subscribe to Dazn and get there. What was it like for you? I mean, you can spar light heavyweights, but did you have any of those same fears when you touched gloves with Tarver that I'm going to find out if I got a chin for 175?
I had to establish with my fight with Tarver was a different approach than what I think Canelo has to do with Sergey. Sergey is a bigger puncher than Tarver. Despite Tarver knocking Roy Jones out, he just caught him at a good time.
Yeah.
Not downplaying what Tarver did. It was perfect punch, right timing. Roy was right there for it. But Sergey is a puncher on both hands. We know the right hand can pitch your lights up, but the left hand is not something to sneeze at either. That really jaws you, get you off balance and all that. The approach that I believe that Canelo, who I know for a fact his team looked at my tape, looked at tapes of Andre Ward, looked at tapes of the fights that he was successful in, and then they went and worked on their strategy. And now I ain't just talking about body. Everybody else talking about the body. The body's going to be there, but you must get in to hit him anywhere. Arms, legs, shoulders, throat. When you throw punches, they land.
Maybe
And
the outside of the hip like Bernard used to do when the ref was on the other
and
side?
the referee is there to regulate where it's good, where it's not. But you
Can't
must
call what he can't see, Bernard. I learned that from you. all
but
right?
you must get inside.
Yes.
And you must make the taller guy, linkier guy, uncomfortable. See, Sergey needs 3 feet to work and operate comfortably in his office. Canelo has to get in that office,
Yes.
sit at that table, turn that computer on, and start punching keys and open that refrigerator up and then take food out. The liver, the kidney,
I love it, yeah.
the liver, the kidney, and then get the sauce ready. For the liver needs sauce.
Sauce is the boss.
The
yeah.
sauce is the punch.
Yes.
And then after you get finished making this great recipe, right? That's food
I smell what the Rock is
to
cooking, yeah.
become, yeah. Now you start doing what Canelo's been doing for the last 7, 8, 9 fights, is making his defense become his best offense to make Sergey gets desperate behind by rounds or know he's being beaten, and now he has to be desperate.
Is it disrespectful to call Kovalev a front runner?
Yeah. He's how you gonna be? He's nobody's front runner. He's a dangerous guy.
But he fades, right? I mean, there's proof.
That's not a front runner.
In the pudding. Okay.
That's not. Know what it is? When a guy like him. Like,
You hurt him with a jab. People forget that 2014 Atlantic City.
Yeah.
You had him on mini ice skates
yeah,
with a jab.
Yeah. And see, front runner to me, because I want to stick with the front runner. Front runner to me is a guy that comes out, a guy that just blazing fire for the first 4 or 5 rounds. Then all of a sudden he changes style for no reason, and he becomes a person like, oh, I didn't get him out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play surrender, but not get hurt if I can avoid it.
Right.
Most likely that he fails in that order because he's already showed that he's just coming out for the first 5 rounds. Then we'll get him later.
Yeah.
People watching, people know. There's fighters that in my era that was front runners. A puncher is never a front runner.
Fair.
Because punchers never lose their punch. George Foreman and Michael Moore.
Phew.
They never lose their punch. They punch when they even in the grave. They never lose their punch. You can never sleep. They can be losing the whole fight in that one punch to a middleweight /4 that'll come a couple of 68 pounders, super middleweight. But really a middleweight. Coming from junior middleweight. The question I think that I ask people when they say, but no, the weight difference, should you get inside, should you work the body? Everybody's talking the same thing. Nobody's talking about can or if Canelo takes the punch early when the energy is strong.
That's what I'm saying.
What's going to happen in the next 5 rounds if Canelo can take these punches? Like we know he's known for getting hit.
It's going to be drama. It's going to be drama.
Can and if he takes those punches, how do you see from 5 rounds to an end what will happen?
Remember?
Somebody's going to have to make those adjustments. When Sergey realized that, damn, he can take a good punch, they've been in the ring a long time ago.
Yeah.
They've been around each other. So that's an advantage for both. They both know each other. Do that mean that it could be one of those fights where it ain't exciting? Yes. I doubt it.
No, if Canelo gets in that 1 inch of space that you're talking about,
It's gonna be-
it'll be like you against Pascal in the rematch.
I was in your ass and you was ready to quit and you was blowing and puffing and went to your corner like a rag doll, done, defeated, and knew that you lost that fight.
That's how gangster you are,
Yes, sir.
is the next line.
Who
for
fight was
one.
that?
That was the HBO face-off ahead of the Pascal rematch,
Yeah, the
where you
Pascal,
told
yeah.
Pascal, you're a 4-round fighter, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that's my
Then
favorite
I did,
episode.
and then
in,
I did the push-ups in the middle of the
Yes.
ring in the second fight in Montreal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I was there. Great night. That was a legendary night. Round 12 against Kovalev, though, okay? You said you can't be a front runner when you got that power. You tried to pull the power out of him. You stuck your tongue out. Were you thinking in that moment, I'm going to lose on the cards probably. Sergey fought well. So my only chance is to knock him out here. Were you trying to
Yes.
lure him into that?
Yes.
That is gangster.
Yes, because
You're
I knew.
49 years old.
Yeah, but I knew that I wasn't winning the fight, and I wanted to pull all my tricks out of the bag and make him run into something and get him mentally aggravated and just wanting to really come forward and leave himself exposed to me. But he didn't. And you know what? When I sit back and look at a lot of fights that you covered and you've been there, and now that I'm in this different mindset, you can't erase what happened, whether it was politically correct, whether it was something I needed to do, proud of or not proud of. A lot of times now that I sit back and I'm entering into the Hall of Fame
Yes.
in June,
Yes. Congratulations, man.
is a time to reflect. And the time to reflect, I can say by you mentioning those 2 fights or some memories of my career that you witnessed. Damn. I say,
Damn, I was gangster is what you're saying right
Yes.
now. Yes. Who would play you in a biopic? What do you think, Jamie Foxx? Because there's got to be a movie made of your life one of these days, right? It might be in production. I don't know about it.
I tell you, if he on the right path right now and he get himself together because he has some bumps in the road, but I think he's very talented. I think we have the same demeanor when it comes to the way we speak, the way we sort of come off aggressive, but talented. DMX.
Wow. DMX play. Whoa! Producer Mikey just jumped up right there. DMX.
And I don't know if your
B-Hop.
producer can see why I would say that would be a good fit based on personality,
Yes.
energy, and how raw we are. I mean,
Loved him in Exit Wounds with Steven Seagal, by the way.
exactly. You know, come on, man. What head? You know what I mean? Can you look at where the similarities of our demeanor?
Yeah,
fits,
or just the X, man.
fits,
the X
the
crosses
X.
over.
So, DMX would be my first choice.
Oh, I love that. Who would play the Warden? And follow-up question: have you ever seen the Warden again after he told you?
No,
to
he
be
was
back?
like 70s, 60s,
All right,
70s.
we can get Bob Arum. We can get Bob Arum to play him, right?
But we could play. Well, it got to be an old white guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's right out of central casting. It's typecasting.
We
but it
gotta
works,
listen. We gotta get an old white guy.
Yeah.
Bob Arum will fit. And I say that out of respect. I love Bob. Bob is a really icon in the business, and I mean that out of respect. But it has to be because I remember the guy. Yeah, and I got my box, and I'm going to. I mean, just visualize. I mean, producers know when they can see me. I'm walking.
He's exiting
but
Greater Ford.
No, listen.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. But I'm leaving a city block length down a corridor hallway and it's 2 tiers. It's the bottom tier and it's the top tier. And you got inmates, some are leaning over, like the movies you see.
Yeah.
They leaning, they looking at the new fish coming in and looking at the old fish going out. Well, I'm the old fish going out, and I had my box. And I had still prison clothes on because my mother didn't send my civilian clothes up in time. I had a choice. I can either wait from them, which I'm not going to do, or I can just go home in county, not state clothes.
Orange, bright orange.
Like a dark orange,
Okay.
like a burnt orange.
Yeah.
So now here I'm walking, right? I go home with this. As long as I got my release papers, I get stopped on the train or I get stopped waiting there. I can tell them, look, I'm released. I didn't escape. So here I'm going. They cutting off the band. They taking a picture because they got to take a picture for you when you leave. And I got my box and I'm giving them like things in my box. You don't need this. You don't need your brush, man. You're going home. So I'm giving stuff away to people, but I'm leaving out with my pictures, my cards over the holidays. And I'm leaving out, you'll be back in 6 months. I could see Bob Arum.
I could see
looking like
I could
this.
see Grandpa doing that.
Look,
yes.
look. Mr. Big Bear, you'll be back in 6 months. So I looked at the wood and I said, you know what? Now he could. 9 out of 10, he was right.
Yes.
By statistics. I looked and said, but I never forgot that.
You never forgot it.
I
And
never
you never
forgot.
went back. And you're a Hall of Famer.
30-something
You got the
years
degree
ago.
from Temple last year, correct?
Yep.
You're going to go in the Hall of Fame.
Temple.
And
Yep.
and this is
Honorary
serious.
degree.
This
Yep.
is serious. When I bounce the grandkids on the knee one
Dr.
day.
Hopkins, they call me. And I was the last speaker out of 5 speakers.
All right. They're going to pull you away in a second. I just got to get this out. When I bounce the grandkids on the knee, maybe a couple decades from now, okay?
All right, thank
and
you
they
for
say,
doing the show.
They say,
You
Grandpa,
boxed?
who'd you cover? You covered boxing for years.
covered me.
And I'm going to, in my head, I'm thinking, well, I was in there in the Floyd era, the Canelo era I saw. But the things I saw in Montreal, following the journey with you, going to fight Kovalev when people said you shouldn't.
Everybody was scared when I said I wanted the top guy. I appreciate it, and you better tell
That's how gangster
you
I
better
am,
tell
all right?
You better tell people and your siblings and your grandkids, you better tell them that moment, because even at that age, I was wanting and willing to fight the best and the most dangerous at that era. And like you said, Sergey at that time, I believe, was at his peak.
And then they're going to say, Grandpa, can you give us one piece of advice on life? And here's what I'm going to say.
Soda to me is like liquid crack. It don't do anything for the body.
Liquid crack, indeed.
It
Bernard,
don't do anything for the body.
Thank you for everything, brother.
Respect.
Great chat.
Thank
Great
you.
chat.